Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Rumble on the River! That's right, November 30th. Hostile Championship Wrestling presents Rumble on the River. Tickets are only $10 at the door. Kids 5 and under admitted free. $8 in advance there at the Eagles located at 5206 Highway 61. Bell time is 7:30 in New Madrid, Missouri for a Saturday night of wrestling action featuring Derek King, Austin Lane, Missouri Bad Boys, the LA Hustlers, Naughty by Nature's Rude, Miss Trish, Jason Vaughn, the Russian Wrecking Ball, and many more. That's right, Rumble on the River for November the 10th. Be there!
Shootin The Shiznit is sponsored by spunklube.com. Spunk Lube is an award-winning personal lubricant that's fun. Spunk Lube is available in 4 varieties: hybrid, pure silicone, natural, and pink. Place your order today at spunklube.com and tell them Shootin The Shiznit sent you.
Hey guys, you remember the days when you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get the extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue, like the color blue. BlueChew.com brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up twice as fast as the pill. So you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. Yeah, I just want you to know that we tried. The wife and I tried BlueChew.com. Do you have any comments, wife?
Wow.
That's right, guys. Blue Chew is prescribed online and shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. So no in-person doctor's visit, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships directly, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. That's right, visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free. Just use the promo code STS and just pay $5 shipping. That's right, special promo code STS and just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BlueChew.com, promo code STS to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for sponsoring Shootin The Shiznit. Have you listened to last week's episode? What about the week before? We have all the archives at www.stspod.club. This month is our special November to Remember ECW tribute, with every episode having an extreme theme. That's right. Please follow us on Twitter at comicbookmarkbt for details on ECW prizes by just retweeting this episode or all the episodes in November. Now on with the show. Hey, we're live from STS Studios in St. Louis, Missouri, and I've got Jazz in the green room. Jazz, come on from the green room and join us here on Shootin The Shiznit, the Female Fighting Phenom. How you doing, Jazz?
I'm fantastic for a Monday. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Me and you hadn't laid our eyes on each other in a long time. We originally met in Arkansas, and I seen you scheduled for the NWA show, and then go and do a special month of ECW. I was like, wow, this is the person to bring on to talk about ECW. We don't see a lot of her doing that, so it would be something awesome to talk about. But first, let's talk about NWA. One of the, I guess, most talked about pay-per-views outside of maybe All In. You was there, big, huge crowd. What did you think?
Well, you know what? Just to be a part of that organization, first of all, was such an honor and just an epic moment. You know, like you said, just being back in that spotlight again, I feel like that was the place I was supposed to be at that particular time. You know, everyone keep asking about the evolution, but as I keep repeating myself, the NWA is my evolution. So just to be a part of something that I grew up watching the majority of my childhood and to actually go in as the world's champion and being the first African-American women's champion for the NWA, it was just an epic moment. So I'm actually making history here. So there's no words to honestly describe the feeling, you know?
Right. It was just one of those days where you come out, the gear was just fantastic. And the presence is still so there. Starting, and we'll talk about ECW here in a little bit, but it's that badass jazz attitude that you've had since day one. And I've never seen you say a bad word about anyone backstage. That's the funny thing about you, is that if anyone ever asked me, especially you and Rodney, time I spent around you, you guys both, I would say, were two of the sweetest people I ever met. But
yes, thank you.
You're able to get that persona out. And you just look fantastic in the ring. I'm happy for you. I'm excited about what's going on with the NWA. It's one of those things where it's I think Billy's going to has more potential than anyone has had with the NWA for many years. So I'm excited about it.
For many years, exactly. I totally agree. And like I said, I'm just honored that they chose me to be a part of it. You know, I held on the belt for a year, just sitting and waiting, and finally, you know, Billy jumped on it and started his deal and got the ball rolling, and it was like, now it's my time, so it's time for me to come out there and just remind everyone exactly who I am. You know, I guess people thought I was dead, or I don't know what they thought, you know, but no, like I said, I'm still here. The bitch never left. I'm still here. It's not the bitch is back. The bitch never left.
Well, it was funny because, you know, the kayfabe sheets some of them were reporting, you know, because Penelope Ford had such a good showing on All In, and they were like, looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to bring Jazz in. They're going to put the belt on Ford. And after nothing against Ford, but let me tell you, after the first couple of moves, I said to myself out loud, if they put the belt on Ford, they're making an effing mistake. So that's what I said to the screen while I'm watching the pay-per-view. And so they didn't do it, and I loved it. The interview afterwards. It was pretty awesome. I want to talk about, not only we're going to talk about the ECW. Something I don't know about you is, were you a wrestling fan growing up? What kind of wrestling? I was. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, so, you know, I had Memphis wrestling there. Right. So, you know, Jerry the King Lawler and Bill Dundee, you know, they was bringing in all kinds of people, you know, through there. So just the Junkyard Dog and, you know, Austin Idol, Bill Dundee. You know, the list goes on and on and on. So, I most definitely grew up as a wrestling fan. And who did you, because someone told me you was a huge fan of Miss Jackie's.
Yes, I was. She was Miss Texas in Memphis.
Miss Texas, yeah.
She was Miss Texas, exactly. In fact, she was my first opponent ever. I got approached to try, you know, to be a part of the wrestling industry, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Well, at first I told him no because I didn't want to be on TV looking like, I've never been on TV before. I've been in sports in front of crowds, the Reggie B. Fines and all that. It was some real peculiar characters on there.
You said you've been in other sports now. Growing up, you was an athlete. You played basketball. What all did you do growing up?
Yeah, I ran track. I played basketball. I did softball. That was the only thing my school actually offered for girls at the time. But if they offered anything else, I probably would have tried that as well.
Right. That's really weird that you say that because that was pretty much girls basketball was the only thing, and then eventually we got volleyball. But that was it. Yeah,
exactly. That was it. If I would have had volleyball, I would have been on the volleyball team.
Did you?
I was pretty good in track as well.
I bet.
I could have got a track scholarship, but I didn't like running. But I was the fastest one in my district, but I just didn't like running.
Didn't like doing what they wanted you to do, huh?
Exactly. I was forced because my basketball coach was a track coach as well. So she's like, everybody's going to run. I was like, oh, man.
Right.
But,
now, did you being a fan and you being approached to start training, any time during that did you think, oh, this is not an up and up, this is a work? Was it ever brought to you what was your answer to people that would say that since you was a big fan of it?
I first of all, that word fake really pisses me off.
No, I didn't use that word. I would never use that. I know better.
Yeah, but I do get, that's the first question I ask you. Is it fake or is it
really?
real?
Yeah.
And my first day of training, I went to, oh my goodness. What is this? Oh my God. How did I forget his name that fast?
Rod Price?
No. He had a school in Arkansas. Oh my goodness.
Don Bass?
Yes, Don Bass. Oh there my God, yes. Yes. Well, I went to his facility, and I guess that was what he called a ring, but it had ropes around it, but it wasn't a ring.
We've heard about that. Yeah,
it was stiff as shit. So I got in there and banged my head a few times. I was like, no, I don't think this is for me, So I was like, no. Baby, I try to be a manager. I can be a hell of a manager. I can come out and dance and do all kinds of things, you know what I mean? Hype the crowd up. So I attempted that a little while. And then I hooked up with a Junkyard Dog. Someone told me that Junkyard Dog actually had a school in Louisiana. So I packed my bags up and caught the next thing rolling and moved to Louisiana and started training under JYD. And JYD basically taught me the business. That's why I met Rodney. And he taught us the business more so than actual wrestling, just the business in general and how to protect ourselves and, about make sure you get paid and he just gave a lot of talks while we were on the road traveling, closed mouth will not get fed, so when you out, make sure you're being seen. That's my baby's, sorry about that. That was my alarm to let me know if I'm asleep to wake up so I can get the girls off the bus. But, so got with JYD. He taught us the business, went on the road with him a lot. And, he was all about, making his money. And he taught us how to make money, how to be seen, how to be heard. So that's what we got out of him. And once he decided to go his own direction and Rodney and I decided to go our separate ways, that's when Rod Price stepped in. And he told me, he's like, kid, if you want to make any money, you're going to have to wrestle. I was like, no, I don't want to wrestle. He's like, if you want to make any money, you're going to have to wrestle. I was like, I want to make money. So that's why I started getting in the ring and training. And that's where it started. But backtrack a little bit. So as I'm in Memphis, I did that one day with Don Bass, and I did a few little valet gigs with a couple of guys up there in Memphis, which was nothing major. 50 people in the crowd or whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna tell Lawler that you're new in the business and you've been training. I'm like, all right, so go on a trip. The little loop they do on the weekends, and he tell Lawler I can wrestle. I'm like, I can't wrestle. He's like, you'll be all right. So they
now,
told me to show up the next day. Reggie be fine.
Oh, Reggie be fine.
Yes,
okay.
Reggie be fine. Yes, Mr. Long Island Iced Tea himself.
Yeah.
He goes and tells Lawler that I can wrestle. I'm like, man, I don't know how to wrestle. He's like, you'll be all right. So they tell me to show up at the flea market, and I'm gonna have a match with Miss Texas.
Oh, dang!
And of course, I was like, oh my God! I was like, man, don't know how to lock up, don't know how to do anything. So the match lasted a good 10 seconds, but afterwards, Lawler said I did a hell of a job. So I was like, I don't know what I did, but he said I did great. So, but that was actually my first match, a 10-second match. And I kept that jacket for a long time. I had on it was like a jacket I had on. And it was full of her makeup. She had that red lipstick.
Right,
that foundation. It was all over my white jacket. Oh, yeah. I kept it for a long time.
Awesome.
And then the next thing you know, about, I guess, 5 years later, I'm in the same locker room as her,
Right. I mean, that's the way the business is. You see someone coming up.
Yes.
Yes. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk a little bit about ECW.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Rumble on the River! That's right, November 30th. Hostile Championship Wrestling presents Rumble on the River. Tickets are only $10 at the door. Kids 5 and under admitted free. $8 in advance there at the Eagles located at 5206 Highway 61. Bell time is 7:30 in New Madrid, Missouri for a Saturday night of wrestling action featuring Derek King, Austin Lane, Missouri Bad Boys, the LA Hustlers, Naughty by Nature's Rude, Miss Trish, Jason Vaughn, the Russian Wrecking Ball, and many more. That's right, Rumble on the River for November the 10th. Be there!
Shootin The Shiznit is sponsored by spunklube.com. Spunklube is an award-winning personal lubricant that's fun. Spunklube is available in 4 varieties: hybrid, pure silicone, natural, and pink. Place your order today at spunklube.com and tell them Shootin The Shiznit sent you.
Hey, thanks to our sponsors. Before we get back with my guest, I just want to make a special mention of BlueChew.com. I do appreciate our new sponsorship with them. And remember, guys, you can get your first shipment for free when you use the promo code STS. You just pay $5 for shipping. I want to bring the wife. We always talk about the wife here. I want to bring her on here today to let you guys know we tried Blue Chew the other night, and I just wanted her to give her impression of Blue Chew.
Wow.
Okay, so you have anything else you want to say about it? Well, guys, let me say, when I tried Blue Chew, I really noticed something a little extra, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
So that's Blue Chew. That's BLUE Chew.com. Promo STS, and you get to try it for free.
Wow.
Okay. I hear you.
Wow.
All right, we're back after the commercial break with Jazz. Jazz, we talked about your starting and everything. What we really want to talk about is give us some ECW stuff. But how was you approached, or how did you meet Paul? Is he the one that got you? And during that ECW time, I was kind of around the business a lot during that time. Talked to Paul right before he went, real strong with ECW on a regular basis, and then never talked to him again because he was so busy and never slept. He was always doing something from that point on.
Yeah, exactly. You could barely get a word in with him.
How did you get contacted about working ECW? And kind of give us that first conversation you had about going to ECW.
Well, at the time, Rod Price, that's who he was training with, Rod, and he had started working with ECW during that time. And he had told us that they were going to be in Louisiana for a loop, and we should come out and do a tryout. So, now, mind you, this has only been 6, 7, 8 months the most that we've actually had a chance to train underneath Rod. Yeah. So, but it was every single day, 7 days a week. If Rod was on the road, me and Rodney, we still went to the ring and trained. So it was 7 days a week for us, nonstop. And so when we got to Lake Charles, they did a couple of. I think they did Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, and New Orleans, I believe. I believe they did some. It was something similar to that. But the first night, I was like, I'm looking at the other ladies there. It was just Francine, Dawn Marie, and Chastity, and those ladies. And I'm like, I don't think they're into anything looking the way I look, Because they was getting their clothes stripped off and, ended up up there. And
the funny thing is, that's what you were thinking. But the funny thing is, hindsight's 20/20. But that's what made you got you so over, is that you were so much different. You were so different than everybody else.
But I was so green, I didn't realize that. I'm still green as, the grass outside,
Right.
Extremely green, I've had, maybe 3 matches, get up in there and show them. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a try. And so I go put my clothes on. Of course, they made me find a closet mop room or something to go dress out in. Like I wasn't good enough to be in their locker room, so that's just how it was. It's all good. And RVD's telling Rodney, hey, dude, that's your old lady? That's your girl? He's like, yeah. He's like, dude, I wouldn't, you sure? You sure you want her to get in there? I mean, she's going to be in there with Jason, you sure? And he was like, yeah, I'm sure. She'll be all right. So I'm nervous as all heck. So I get in the ring, and the entire locker room surrounds the ring. This is before the doors open. That's when mostly everybody got their tryouts.
Right.
Before the doors open. Yeah. So it wasn't like a dark match like in WWE. It was like in front of the boys. That was your tryout.
I actually had two tag teams get an ECW tryout, and I know that feeling, okay?
Yeah.
They were all surrounding you. This was at the end of ECW, but it is a weird feeling.
Yeah. So they all surrounded the ring, and, and we did our thing, and they started popping, and, they got into it. They hit the mat, and, So, I just did what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing, but I did it, and it worked. and I'm still full of butterflies after the match. So I get out, I'm blown up, still like nervous as hell. So I go to the nearest locker room I could find. It. This time I didn't give a crap. So I just run into a locker room, and lo and behold, it was One Man Gang, Sabu, Tommy Rogers, Tommy Rich, all in the locker room, and I just busted that door and went straight to the toilet and started puking. So
I bet they had a laugh about
yelling,
that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they laugh. So they're telling Rodney, because Paulie's looking for him. Paulie, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Go tell her to come here. Go get her. So Rodney's running around the building trying to look for me, so he ended up finding me in this toilet with my head in the toilet. And he tells me, baby, they looking for you. They looking for you. So I finally clean myself up. I go back out there, and Paulie's like, where in the hell did you come from? Who are you? So Rod's sitting back there, his legs crossed, big dip in his mouth, spitting in a cup, and so yeah, he's like, oh my God. And they're like, we're going to call you in 2 weeks. Oh my God. So, still green, not knowing, but it wasn't 2 weeks. It was a little longer. Paulie, I'll never tell you the truth.
Right.
I got the call, but it wasn't 2 weeks. You can pay him attention, but it's not going to be a direct, honest answer at the time. But not saying that he's lying, but that's what happened. So about a month later, they told me I'd be coming up because Chassie was leaving with Sandman. They was getting called up to WCW. No. It was WWE, wasn't it? No. Where did they go first? It was WCW, right?
You're right,
yeah.
right. They went with Bischoff, yeah. Bischoff grabbed them.
Yeah, they went with Bischoff. Yes. So I came in, I took Chassie's spot, and they brought me in the ECW arena. And oh my God, the arena is, Lord, it's like the Cleveland Brown fans, you know what I mean? Oh my God,
but they loved
brutal,
you, didn't they? They did.
Well, it started off a little shady because they had me sitting in the crowd, because I had to jump the rail and do a run in. So they were pissed because I've been sitting in this seat for 5 years. Why are you in my fucking seat? And,
oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. So Atlas had to come over there and save me, and it was crazy. So when I got my cue, they sent a little note up and told me my cue. So once I got my cue, I jumped the rail and went in there and took Chassie out, and there you go. That was the beginning. And I don't say the beginning. I say birth of jazz.
Oh, the birth of jazz. I love that. And it was one of those things where, like you said, I mean, let's just be honest. It was all tits and ass. That's all it was. And Lita, she was going by another name at the time. I can't remember. I never can remember names.
Who?
Lita, remember you
Lita was not even, Lita didn't exist at the time. Lita came along months later after I was in ECW.
Right, but you just
and she was named Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, all these girls were doing that, and then it was just like your character was, I don't care what you're doing, I'm gonna kick your ass. And then
and Paulie threw me out there with all those men, and he told them, and could you imagine me standing there still green now, and listening to this man tell the person I'm about to go out here and have a match with to beat the crap out of her, do not treat her like a woman. It's like, huh? What the heck? And he come over there and tell me, Jazz, you get up there and you beat them like they owe you money. Beat them like they stole something from your mama. Don't hold back anything. You lay it in. So this is what we're being told before we actually go out, through the curtains. So kind of scary. And like I said, I'm still green. And I'm listening to you guys discuss boom, boom, bang, bang, and I'm just like, what the hell? I'm just like, what's my cue? When do I come in? All this boom, boom, bang, bang, and all that. I don't know what the heck that is. So I would just wait till they finish doing all they boom, boom, bang, bang, and I pull Jason or Justin to the side. I'm like, okay, so when do I come in and do what I'm supposed to do?
I love that because if you've never been in a business and you're listening to this, if you're listening to this podcast, you have no idea what the hell she's talking about. But it's one of those things where you can go over the start and the finish, and then you say we're going to do this, and then boom, and then bang, and then I want you to do this, out of heat.
Yeah, and you hit the gimmick, and get up, and I hit the finish, and pop up, and I'm like, oh my God.
So they did have you wrestling. You know, Steve Corino, I watched a match. I just went to the WWE network and pushed, put in Jazz and ECW and went through a lot of stuff. I seen you in there with Corino.
Yeah.
You know, solid match.
It was fun to work with him and Jack. Oh my God, they were great to work with.
Yeah, I seen that. You were with Jack Victory. Jack Victory doesn't get a lot of. I think he's one of the most underrated guys in that era. He was so good, solid.
He was. Oh my God, and such an awesome guy to be around. Oh my God, full of just full of life, laughter. Just ribbing everybody. He was the greatest. He was fun to be around.
Here's one of your best matches, in my opinion, and actually one of my favorite matches. And I went back to watch it. It was from Heat Wave 1999. It was
Heat Wave 99.
It was you and Jason. Now, did you train with Jason on a regular basis? Have a good relationship or anything with him? Man,
we was in an entourage together. We both was in PJ's entourage, Just Incredible entourage. So That was it. Actually, he was the one I used to pull to the side and say, "What the hell is Bing Bing Boom Boom?"
But that match was so good. That match was so smooth. Everything. Yeah. Everything he would. It was like y'all had put it together weeks in advance. They talk about the Savage Steamboat.
Well, we had started working on some house shows.
Okay.
We just kept it going, and and Paulie decided to put it on pay-per-view, So that's how that happened.
Right. Well, that's awesome. It was a really good match. Tell me about you, and then we're wrapping up here, but when was it you decided, hey, I'm leaving the ECW? Was it when the WWE called, or was it, did you guys leave?
ECW that's when Vince had bought them out. And
okay.
Paulie was already up there doing commentary. And I saw Dreamer at an indie show in Texas. He was like, hey, I'm going to give Paul a call, try to, get you a dark match or something. They said that was the best response they ever had from a dark match, from a ladies match. I worked Ivory. Ivory, she was so sweet. And that's why I'm the way I am today. I like to give back because Ivory actually made that match all about me. It wasn't about her getting her stuff in. She's like, I heard a lot about you. I never really got a chance to see you, but Molly Holly talks really, what she called her Nora. Nora talks really good about you. She said some good stuff about you, so we're just going to go out there and have fun, okay? I was like, yes, ma'am. And she did that. She made it all about me, and we got a great response, and they told me I should be hearing something soon. Again, Paulie, you'll be hearing something in a couple of weeks. But it turned out to be a couple of months.
Paul was always good about... Yeah, he was always good about also saying, hey, I got to go. I'll call you right back. And then you wouldn't hear you wouldn't hear from him for like 3 weeks. So that was...
Oh, my God. As small as ECW was, it still was so hard to try to have a conversation with Paul. Oh, my God. I had better luck talking to Vince than I did with Paul.
That's crazy.
It was just crazy.
All right,
but
Jazz.
He did everything. So
he did. That's why I said it.
So he was busy.
Yeah, couldn't talk to him after that. It was just like he was doing the show, he was doing this, he was doing that, he was booking the towns, he was doing everything.
Creative, he knew exactly what he wanted, and if you had a vignette or a promo to cut, I don't care if you did it 35 times, you were going to do it the way he wanted done. He had a vision, and of the way he wanted to be, to be told, and you were going to tell it the way he wanted to be told.
Right.
So
nothing wrong with that, because the television was
nothing wrong with that at all.
As being a fan,
all about perfection.
Yeah. It was real good. It was a show. It was alternative, and a lot of us really. And there's still, if you listen to anything, watch any kind of wrestling, if there's ever a hardcore match, you still hear the chant of ECW. So that tells you how over it was. So tell us, Jazz,
exactly.
How can we get you on Twitter, Facebook? Do you have any merch for sale? Anything like that? Put your stuff over before we end it here today.
Yes, on Twitter, Phenom_Jazz. For booking inquiries, my email is book.phenomjazz@gmail.com. I do have merch, but I mostly take my merch with me to shows, but I'm going to actually start trying to get that put online where I can get people to actually purchase it online, but I haven't done that yet. But most definitely, please reach out to me for any type of booking, signings, appearances, or whatever. Book.phenomjazz@gmail.com.
Guys, y'all reach out to her. Like I said, I've been in the dressing room with her a couple of times. Just the privilege of hanging out with you guys. Y'all let me come back and BS with you. And tell Rodney I said hi, okay?
I sure will.
Right.
I sure will, and I thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks, everyone, for listening. You remember, same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there! And you guys know I love my mama. Hey, thanks, Jazz. I appreciate it. Hey, that was another great episode of Shootin The Shiznit. We want to let everyone know we thank you for listening, and we also are looking for contestants for who wants to be the best shiznitter ever. We want to start a new season at the start of the year. Also, you can go to wehavemerch.com. You can get t-shirts starting at $12.99 and sizes up to 6L. A big thank you to our sponsors, spunkloop.com, bluechew.com, and use the promo code there, STS, and Hostile Championship Wrestling. We're also looking for Patreon members. That's right. We're looking for 10 Patreon members, and then you'll start getting a free exclusive episode every week right there. A big shout out and a thank you to Bob McGee at Pro Wrestling's Between the Sheets. That's PWPTS.com. Gene Jackson at LocalsToLegends.com. Sean Garmer over at Wrestling to Max website. That's W2Mnet.com. And WrestlingNewsCenter.com. The episode is posted up there every week on all 4 of those websites. And also you can get it at www.stspod.club. You can reach me on Twitter at comicbookmarkbt or BT Shootin The Shiznit on Instagram. We also have a Facebook site, Shootin The Shiznit Facebook page, and we also have a Facebook site called Cool Kids Wrestling and MMA Talk. You can ask to get in there. If you act like an ass, we kick you out. That's right. You can listen to this podcast on all the podcast apps, iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Spreaker, and now we're on Spotify. A quick podcast roll call. My wrestling podcast, Suplex City Limits. Creative control with my buddy JoJo. And also JoJo produces Keeping It 100. P3 Radio with my buddy Max and Josh. They do wrestling and all kinds of fun stuff. But here is 2 non-wrestling podcasts. That's Who's Right Podcast and Po' Boys. If you want to listen to something different than wrestling, hey, give them a chance. Thank you, and good night.